Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Game Night. As you can see, I am solo this evening, and I'm gonna, um, dear, I'm going to talk about some serious stuff tonight because there's some things that are just bothering me that I've just got to get off my chest. So before I get started, I want to invite everybody that's watching. Please check in. Please like this video, comment on this video, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. The goal of course, is 1,000, and we are at 112 subscribers. That would mean we would have 178 to go. No, sorry, 178. I wish 180. No, I still can't add 878 subscribers to go. 878 subscribers to go before we hit 100. So please subscribe. Subscribing costs you nothing. You'll get notified when I load up videos or I go live. Again, definitely support. Can subscribe. Become a Patreon. I still am stuck at 5 Patreons. I would love to have 10, but it's been a while since we've had a new Patreon come into the Patreon family. I'm definitely thinking of starting Patreon chats that will only be open to those that are in the Patreon group. So support starts at, I can't think the date. So support starts at $2 a month, goes all the way up to 35. So definitely appreciate that. And remember that September the 8th, starting at 8 o'clock p.m., ending September the 9th, 8 o'clock a.m., I am hosting a 12-hour telethon. I know that seems like a lot, but my goal is to raise $3,500. I definitely am in desperate need of some new lighting, a new computer. This one is holding on, but it's not going to hold on much longer. Even though I had 500 saved on my own, I still need a little help to get over the next portion. So you can go to my website, tracymedia.com/r-events. And I see that Parker is checked in. Hello, Parker. I am hyped that March Madness is starting this week, but I just remember Tracy does not watch basketball. LOL. The tournament is the best, especially at the beginning. I could care less. April the 27th, that's the day I'm waiting for. That is the NFL draft. So I'm waiting on that. I want to see what my team does in the draft. Of course, the first round is going to be on the NFL Network, so that means I have to get the NFL Network for a day to see the first round, and then go see the second and third rounds, and fourth rounds, and fifth rounds. I think there's 7 total. Um, That'll be on ESPN. So last year it was on ABC, which I don't know why they decided to put it on their network. Maybe the ratings were low. I have no idea. But again, I could care less about March Madness. We know it's going to be the same teams as always. Some 16th seed will be the number 1 seed. Blah 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 blah. Maybe it's because I just like football. Um, and that's not my problem. That's the only sport that keeps my attention. The other ones are just like, they just bore me to tears. Um, oh, did they trade? Okay, so I thought, who did I think had the number 1 pick? Who did I think who had the worst record? I thought it was either Cleveland. So they must have traded to get that number 1 pick, because I thought a totally different team had the number 1 pick. I know San Francisco is not picking until a little bit later, so that's really the only pick I'm concerned about. But I do enjoy watching the draft, um, and that kind of things. The Bears, okay, so the Bears had it, okay, because I'm like, wait a minute. there's a team that's worse than the Panthers. So they must have traded. What did the Bears, I mean, what did the Panthers trade to get that pick? Because you don't just give up a number one draft pick. You have to have traded something. So I'm curious to find out what it is that they traded. So I said I was going to take a little bit of a detour today and talk about something serious. I do not expect this show to be long. I know I say that every week and I end up going an hour. Not tonight. I'm solo, so I don't see a reason unless somebody just pops in here, which I don't think anybody is because nobody could make it today. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be no more than 30 minutes. I'm shooting for maybe 20, but we'll see. I'll probably be more than 20, to be honest. I'll probably be more than 20. But I wanted to talk about Mary Ann Williamson's um, presidential launch. She has officially launched her campaign to be president of the United States. She's running as a Democrat, which means she's going to be challenging Joe Biden, who hasn't yet declared he's going to run yet. But I wanted to talk about some of the backlash she's getting. And this is where I don't understand where it's coming from. Because you have, and in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, there's a clip of The View that's going around where essentially the panel criticizes her essentially for running. You saw the White House press secretary kind of make a joke about, and I'm looking at my phone just to see if anybody's coming in, so far, no, criticizing her for entering in the race. And when that happens, when somebody challenges you, and I'm talking specifically about the Biden administration, the statement that you want to make is, we look forward to having a discussion, sharing of ideas, and moving our country forward. Now you don't mean it, but you always want to say it just so you don't sound like a bitterman. That's not the course that the White House chose to take. They chose to take the whole Joe Biden's coronated. This is his nomination. Why are you challenging it? And I think this is suspect. Do I think she's going to win the nomination for the Democratic Party? No. I actually don't think she's going to run. What I think is, Parker's answering my question here. So in return, the Bears got a number 9 pick and a number 61 pick. Also, they got a 2024 first round pick plus a 2025 second round pick. Okay, thank you for answering that question. So I think, one of the things that really bothered me about the way that they're presented, oh, well, she doesn't have any qualifications. Well, let's look at the qualifications of running for president. First, you have to be 35, at least a minimum of 35. She's 70. You have to have been born in the United States or be the child of a U.S. service person that serves in the military. So she meets that. So what is it in their minds that doesn't make her a candidate, like qualified? What is it that they're saying doesn't qualify her for being president? Those are, well, no, what, we're going to look up the qualifications of being president. Now I got time here. So we're going to just look up qualifications. What are the qualifications of being president of the United States? Okay, so the Constitution lists only 3, because I had to, but the Constitution lists 3 qualifications. The president must be at least 35 years of age. I said that one. Must be a natural born citizen or have a parent that served, because that's how John McCain ran. Remember when John McCain ran? His father was in the military, even though he wasn't born in America, because his father served. That's how he got in. and must have lived in the United States for 14 years. Okay, what about that doesn't she meet? I mean, are we talking about, she should have? I didn't see anything about, holding public office. Donald Trump certainly wasn't qualified. He never held. I want to. It's infuriating me because I'm just wondering, what do they think the qualifications are? There's only three that are listed by the Constitution. Again, we can go over them. I just read them. But what are we talking about? I don't either. I do not think, as close as they are, I don't see Nina running for um, president. I think if Nina were smart, she would run for governor of Ohio. I think that's what she should do, um, to run. And Parker, you're on it tonight. You have to be popular, wealthy, corrupt, and pleasurable. Parker, you better say that one more time. These are the real qualifications. And the thing that made me so mad about the View's little, and I haven't watched the View in what, 20 years. I don't think I've ever sat down and said, "Oh, let me watch the View." But this clip of them kind of criticizing her had made the rounds, and oh, I don't know her name. I think her name is Sunny something something. Had made the comment, "Oh, well, she doesn't, she says that it's basically you're sick because you want to, is mind over matter." Here's a woman that has said, I'm for Medicare for all, as opposed to Joe Biden, who has said if Medicare for all gets to his desk, he will veto it. So who's really talking about the health of America? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Sunny Houston, thank you, or Hostin, thank you. I don't watch the show, so all I know is Whoopi Goldberg is there, and basically that's the only one I know. Oh, and Joel Behar. But um, I'm like, okay, so if we're gonna go backwards to look at comments people have made, and again, they literally took those comments out of context, but okay, let's just say that. Let's go back to when Joe Biden said he didn't want his children to attend school where black children were enrolled. And he called black neighborhoods jungles. And he said that Storm Norman was a good person, even though he's a segregationist. I mean, if we're going to do this, we should just really do this. Um, Again, I didn't know a coronation was going on. I mean, for some reason, I thought this is what the primaries were for. You have the candidates, you run them, and whoever the voters decide should run as the nominee gets the nominee. Oh, and here's another thing I wish the people on the Democratic side would want. Y'all don't want Joe Biden either. I think there were some poll I was reading, like 25% of Democrats, not people like me, because I never wanted him to be president anyway, but 25% of Democrats do not want him to run again. So now you're mad at Marianne Williamson, but you said you didn't want him to run. Somebody else runs. Now you're mad that she's running. Why? Um, does she have to wait her turn? Does she have to? Um, I guess she has to be corrupt and sell herself out like Joe Biden did. I mean, come on. This man takes more dark money and campaign contributions from PACs than just he's like right up there with Trump. There's really no difference between what he says and what Trump says, and it's just like, come on, stop this with the coordination. You can miss me with that. Now again, do I really think that Marianne Williamson is going to win the Democratic nomination? No. What I think she's going to do, and this is just me kind of um, giving my own theory. I think when she doesn't get the nomination, when they run her through the coals, because that's what corporate media will do, I think she's going to run as an independent. That's what I really think. And if I were a betting person, I would bet a lot of money on the fact that she's going to end up running as an independent. It doesn't make sense to do it now because, again, she said which the question to her was, would she do a dirty break? And for you that I don't know, that a dirty break is when you just completely separate yourself from the party that you're associated with. Like kind of what Trump threatened to do if he doesn't get the Republican nomination. He would run as an independent. That's an example of a dirty break. Let's see. His early days, I mean, he said some stuff. He literally in 2022, when and I forget the name of the golfer's name, when he ran, when the golfer won the Masters, he just dropped a slur against Asians. I'm like, nobody's gonna say anything about this. We're just okay with this. The things, like if Trump had said the same thing, like exactly the same thing, it's kind of like when Biden made that comment on Charlemagne the God's show, saying, I think it's the Breakfast Club. If you don't vote, if you're black and you don't vote for me, and you vote for Trump, you ain't black. He will just let that go. Just it's okay to say it. If Trump had said literally the same sentence, if well not the same sentence, he would obviously change Trump to Biden. But you get where I'm going at. If he had said similar to that, it just would have been just it would have been he would have gotten far worse. I don't think she run. I think she will. See, I think she will run as a third party candidate because she's already said if the Democratic Party doesn't treat me well. Well, we already see um, how the Democrats are treating her. I mean, they're just like, man, like Kristen Sinema. Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one, Parker. Hey, sis, how are you? Intent and content matters, or it should, but it doesn't. That's the problem that the corporate media does. They will literally, they're responsible for two things. They're definitely responsible for Trump being president. This, again, my theory, my opinion, my show, my opinion. They gave Trump so much free press in 2016, it was ridiculous. I'm like, every time he had a rally, every time he talked, they would just follow him, follow him, follow him, follow him. Then, when he was actually president, it was just constant. It was the Russia lie first. Russia helped him get in. And every other day, it was just something, oh, he could get impeached for this. Actually, he did get impeached twice, but he never got removed, but blah, 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 blah. But they were responsible for Trump winning the nomination and being president. And then they were responsible for Biden winning the nomination and being president. And remember when Biden was running, he was in like literally last place. It was a two-man race. It was Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders. They were fighting for 1 and 2. All of a sudden, somehow Pete Buttigieg, who's in, let's just say worst case scenario, he's in second place. Worst case scenario. Some polls had him won, but I'm just going to give him the worst case scenario. He's in second place. He gets out of the race and endorses the last place person. Are you kidding me? The media is definitely responsible for Biden being president. They sold the fact that he was more reliable, he's more consistent, he's used to getting things done, and they're responsible for it. Oh, no, what Cinema did, thank you, Parker, for explaining it. What Sinema did is she left the Democratic Party because she knows she's going to lose her primary. If she ran as a Democrat um, in the Senate race in Arizona, she's losing. There's no way she's going to win um, a Democratic primary in Arizona. Not with her numbers. So what she's banking on is that she'll take away Democrat votes and put them in her bank by running as an independent. She's more likely to take away Republican votes because she's more favored by Republicans than as she's more favored by Republicans than Democrats. So now I understand what you were talking about. But I'm just like the corporate media, they're disgusting. They literally will sit here and tell you, oh, you have to vote for this person. No, I don't. I can vote for whomever I want to. I'm an American. That's my right. If I want to vote for Howie Hawkins, that's my right. And please mess me with the it's a wasted vote. No. If I don't want to vote for this person or this person, but I really want to vote for that person who's a third party candidate, then that's the way I want to vote. Okay, Trump became press because of the Dems. Well, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton did convince him to get in the race. The party actively decides to anoint from within. They don't want open and fair elections much more than the GOP. They just have different reasons. Yeah, and I still say the media played a role in why Trump became president, but I see your point because the Democrats they knew. They said, you know what? And now that I think about it, the fact that Bill and Hillary Clinton both said to Trump, hey, get in the race. Uh, no, I disagree. I don't think the vote that's wasted is the one that's not casted. Because voting for and I'll ask this question and you can answer or not answer it because we're gonna disagree. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Because me voting third party has a lot to do. Well, one, I think the duopoly is terrible, awful, and should be eliminated. But what's the point of voting for a Joe Biden? Like literally, he's not Trump, but he still has a whole lot of the same policies as Trump. We still have children getting separated from their parents. We still don't have a $15 minimum wage. We still don't have the child tax credit, even though it was active for 1 year. Has he fought to bring that back? No, he has not. Um, Enforce railroad workers back to work when they wanted to strike, and they should have went on strike. So I'm not seeing why should I vote for that. That's like me saying, "Yep, I'm okay." When I give somebody my vote, I'm saying, "Hey, I'm okay with what you're doing," and I'm not okay with that. But that's just me. But I can't vote for somebody like that. And please don't start me into the whole assault thing because I could go there. Nope, still don't agree. But again, uh, I just happen to disagree with that because um, if I at my core, you know, let's talk about this. When what you were laying out are valid complaints and criticism, not the same thing. I am not going to vote for a candidate, whether they're Republican, Democrat, Green, DSA, Libertarian, that man. I'm not going to vote for a candidate who I have fundamental problems with. And I got some fundamental problems with basically the last three candidates that the Democrats ran. For me, voting for a Republican president, that's just That's just probably not going to happen unless they came out for Medicare for all. But I doubt that that's ever going to happen. Um, so I just kind of push them to the side. If I'm going to vote for a Democrat, it well, basically, mine was pretty simple. I said, hey, if Bernie Sanders doesn't get the nomination, I'm going third party. Well, Bernie Sanders didn't get the nomination, so guess what I did? Because to me, my stance is on what I believe that should be happening in this country. He's more in line with them than Joe Biden. Joe Biden literally said, if Medicare for all gets to his desk, he's going to veto it. Why am I voting for him? That's like my no. If I'm ranking my issues in terms of how it is I want to vote. Number one, you must be for Medicare for all. There's no there's no waiver. There's no, oh, I can see, let's make fundamental changes to the ACA. No. If you're not for the Medicare for all, you, sir, ma'am, are not ever going to get my votes. Period. Won't happen. Never gonna happen. Not gonna happen. No, no, no. Um, Good point, Parker. But that's my number one issue. You're not for it. You can just bounce and go. If you're not for reparations, now I know Bernie's not for reparations. He's for a study. Bernie, you wrong for that because you should be. That's my number two issue. Number three, Green New Deal. If you're just for giving subsidies to the oil company, the fossil fuel industry to pollute the air, I'm not going to vote for you. Um, I agree, and everything Bernie says, I don't agree with, but he lines up more with what I believe. Is he wrong about reparations? Absolutely, absolutely, he's wrong about reparations. And I'm not afraid to say that he's wrong about reparations, but that doesn't mean he's not wrong about a $15 minimum wage. Um, so these are the issues I'm looking for. Joe Biden literally strikes out on every single issue that I deem important. You're against Medicare for all. You're against the $15 minimum wage. Now, people are going to say, but Tracy, he said he was for it. Okay, so let's just take a little, let's go back in time. When that vote came up and it was defeated because 8 Weasley Democrats crossed over, did we hear anything about his outrage? No, we did not. What happened to voters' rights? Yeah, anybody that wants me to vote for Democrats, please tell me. They literally dropped the ball on voters' rights. Literally, voters' rights was right there. You had enough people in the Senate to either say, "Hey, let's suspend the filibuster and get this passed," but you couldn't do it. Now I know he can't make them pass. He can't just executive order it. But I'm talking about the whole Democratic Party. Um, you voting rights. You drop the ball on voting rights, and you want me to vote for you. You can't expect me to do that, and that's where it kind of it annoys me that people say, "Oh well, you got to vote for the Democrats." No, I don't. I literally don't have to vote Democrat. I can literally go into the I can literally go in and say, you know what? I'm tired of them all. And that's really where the point I'm coming at is I have to look at who aligns with my issues. Now my issues may not be your issues may not be my issues, but I'm not gonna just vote for a Democrat that says that they want something, get in office, and then does the exact opposite. I might as well move to Arizona and vote for Kirsten Sinema because that's literally what she did. She said she's for a $15 minimum wage, and then she did that whole thumbs down thing. She said that she was for, oh shoot, I forgot the other one, the child tax credit. I'm just like, I can't with this party. So, I'm going to read some more comments here. Ranked choice voting. I want to be for it so badly. But here's my problem, and maybe the people in the comment section can talk me into this. I don't understand it. I understand winner takes all. It's something I understand. Um, hold on a second. Let me. Oh no, he said he was against Medicare for all. He said if that got to his desk, he's vetoing it. And I'm not saying that he's I'm just reading all these comments. I'm saying that as a party, I'm talking about the whole party. I realize that the president, there are some things that he could executive order and literally has not done them. Like he could have executive ordered the elimination of all student debt, but he did 10,000. Sure, some people are going to say, well, 10,000 is better than nothing. Being challenged in the courts, no outrage exhibited. For $15 minimum wage, it gets defeated. Doesn't say anything about it. So, yes, I get that he can't pass things that don't get to his desk, which that's true. But when something gets to your desk and you say you'll veto it, oh, I'm going to have problems with that. And in terms of the voters' rights, sure, it didn't get to his desk. But I think what we're forgetting is he's still the president of the United States, and he has this thing called the bully pulpit that he could use. And I'm just like, okay, where is it at? Say what you want about Lyndon Johnson. Complete racist. Get it. Got us in Vietnam War. But he knew when he wanted something, he knew how to use the bully pulpit to get what he wanted. That's all I'm saying. But back onto ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting, I want to be for. I really do. I really want to be for ranked choice voting. But I understand winner takes all. I understand that whoever gets the most votes wins. That's something that I can easily conceptualize. I can get it. I'm like, okay, I understand it. Ranked choice voting, in theory, sounds good, but I have to do a whole bunch more research before I'm like, okay, let's just do this instead. Because again, like I said, there's just too many parts of it that I'm just like, okay, this doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to say what I think ranked choice voting is. And I know I had somebody on the show that explained it, but I'm still like, it's not like registering in my head. So if you have 5 candidates, you rank them by your choice 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if the first person gets the most votes, wouldn't they still win? See, that's the part I don't understand. And that's the part I wish like somebody could like explain to me, because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so make a speech. You keep saying that you just want to tell what you want to hear. No need to deliver. Okay, not agreeing with that, but okay. See, people say this one, Parker, and this is where I don't understand. So, like I said, this is what I understand about ranked choice vote. You get 5 votes, right? You get 5 candidates. So you rank them 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If the top choice still gets the majority of the votes, they still win, right? Because that's what I'm not understanding is how that gets third parties a better chance. That's the portion I don't get. Like I said, I don't want to come out against it, but I don't fully understand it. Okay, so if you are in first place, you only win on the first ballot if you have more than 50%. Thank you. Because I was just like, well, how do you, that's what I wasn't getting is how does that make a third party candidate win? Because like everybody on my show I've had on the Tracy show has said I'm for ranked choice voting. I'm like, well, okay, how does that make you win? Because like I said, I understand winner takes all. I understand it. It makes a whole lot of sense to me. It's like, okay, this is the will of the people. But I don't want to just come out against ranked choice voting because, again, my understanding of it is just like not understanding. But I promise I will do more research on it. I definitely will, because the system we have is terrible, terrible. Okay, I'm just kind of getting. Okay, so if no candidate gets 50% on the first ballot, then they get to go to the next and reveal who got the most second place votes, and so on until somebody gets a majority. Okay. Thank you, Parker, for explaining. Because I'm like, and then what? And then, huh? And then what? Like I said, again, I understand winner takes all. That's the basics of what I understand. And maybe I need to have Sarah back on to like explain it to me again because I'm like, but I understand this, but I don't understand this. So thank you, Parker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, I kind of wanted to talk about that whole thing because I'm like, I can't see voting Democrat in the next election. I just can't, unless again they're for Medicare for all. That's my trigger. Now, some people it's reparations, some people it's Green New Deal, some people it's something else. Everybody has their own criteria that they vote. I just can't see it, and I don't understand why it is that this party that says that they're for democracy, for the White House to come at Marianne the way that they did, that's not a good look. And I know, people say, oh, she doesn't have a chance. Well, how's she going to have a chance if you're sitting here coordinating the winner already? I mean, come on. I thought we said we lived in a democracy. I don't know. Let the voters pick who they want. And again, Democrats, y'all the ones that don't even want Joe Biden to run. 25% of Democrats want Joe Biden to run. You can't have it both ways. You can't say you don't want him to run, and then when somebody challenges them, oh, it can't be her. Who is it? Do you want Hillary Clinton? We don't. We definitely don't need to go down that road. We definitely don't. I know. Shoot, I'll run then. No, we don't need to go down that road at all. No, 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 no. Um, let's see. More comments coming in. I think we need a parliamentary system where multiple factions have to build conditions to go. That I agree with. That portion I agree with. But I think the media has a whole lot to do with who wins the presidency. It's not guaranteed. Um, I do. I just the way that the media is just totally dismissing Marianne. It's just like, okay, have you heard what she said? Have you read her stances? She's for reparations. She's for Medicare for all. She's for a living wage that's better than $15. What is it that you want? Do you want her to take corporate PAC money and just totally sell out and say you'll advocate for workers and then when they strike you force them back to work? Is that what you I don't know what it is that mainstream voters want. And maybe that's where I'm frustrated at because I don't get it. You say you want A, but then here comes somebody. You don't want Joe Biden, but you don't want anybody to run against him. Okay, that not making sense to me. Um, but that's just me. Again, I'm just one person. Um, but I plan on doing my best to get a third party candidate. And not just any third party candidate. Just because you're a third party candidate does not mean I'm automatically going to vote for you. Because if you're full of bleep, I'm still not going to vote for you. But I think that's why I do my show, is because I want to explore every opportunity out there. I want somebody to realize, hey, my vote doesn't belong to you. You're going to have to work for it. And this whole thing of, that they're taking away votes. That's the whole point of running for office. You're taking votes. Um, oh no, see now I'm gonna disagree. I definitely disagree. I would say um, go to her website, Marianne 2024, and then tell me what plans that Joe Biden has. Because if there's anybody that's sloganeers, it's him. Yeah. Now, Parker, this is what I really want. In my ideal world, I want Nina to run. Oh, if she runs, it's like, okay, I'm in. I'm on the I'll take that Democratic ballot and I'll just go in there and be like, okay, here we go, scrub it in. But I think she's better running as governor of Ohio. Now that's just me. Again, that's my opinion. But if it's between her and Biden, I already know I'm going to go with Marianne because what has Biden really done? Yes, he did the child tax credit that disappeared. Yes, he did $10,000 worth of student loans that are being in court. You just want to like the person that's lying to you. I don't think that Marianne is lying to me, but okay, again, examples. I always appreciate examples. Um, but like I said, Parker, if Nina got in the race, no doubt who Green Party. I'm a member of the Green Party, but nah, if she made it to the general, there's no question about where my vote would go. No question, no hesitation, no anything. I'm in. I am in the game. Um, if she runs, I don't think she is going to run because her and Mary Ann are very close. So I don't think she would be. But do you think Parker, and this question is specifically Parker because he, like me, wants Nina to run, would she run as vice president? Marianne has updated her policies more than her 2020 run. I didn't like her as much back in 2020, but from what I've seen, she has adopted more Bernie progressive policies for her 2024 run. Yes, I agree with that too. Because 2020, how many people were running for president in 2020? You have like 18,000 Democrats running. I'm like, come on, y'all. Stop. Look, let's just get this race down to like 3, 4 people. You had Cory, oh shoot, oh what's his name? Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, um, the old governor of New York, not De Blasio, although he was in it for a little bit. Then oh boy got in it, Bloomberg. I'm like, come on. This you should watch. Yes, that I'm going to talk about that video more tomorrow. Oh my goodness. She did that whole thing with no teleprompter. I'm like, wait a minute, lady, hold on. I had to go back and watch it again. I've watched that thing like 3 times, and I'm just like, talk about hitting it out of the park. Um, Nina as VP for who? Marianne. You know Biden isn't gonna pick her. He should have, but he's not. He doesn't have the testicular fortitude. Marianne is able to get interviewed. See, okay, I'm gonna disagree with this one because I know that Marianne has advocated for progressives that are running for local office. She has them on her platform. She has created several organizations that have promoted those candidates. Um, let's see. I love y'all, but way too easily impressed by words. Now I'm more actions. Like I said, she has had progressive candidates. She's uh, highlighted them on her platform, and she has a huge platform. She's campaigned for them. Um, To me, she spoke at the Medicare for All rally. Um, I mean, she's done a lot to me, but again, that's just me. Marianne actually did a lot in 2022 to promote progressives running for Congress. She literally went to Cleveland multiple times to campaign with Nina. She did, unlike AOC, unlike Cori Bush, unlike Rashida Tlaib. But that's just me. But she also campaigned for Rebecca Carlson, and I know I'm getting her name wrong. Rebecca Parsons in D.C., Mr. Paul in California. She definitely puts progressive candidates. She definitely supports them in terms of what she says. So I'm not sure. Again, what is it that she has to do? I'm not saying you have to vote for her, but I'm saying really look at her website because she's done a lot of work in between elections. To me, she's done more work after this election than she did before, but hey, that's just me. So litmus test is support. No, that's not necessarily it because she supports other progressives. Not just because she supported Bernie and Nina. I mean, that helps, it doesn't hurt. But why, again, am I supporting Biden? Again, he says one thing, literally does the opposite. I'm not getting it. And maybe because, again, in my mind, the Democratic Party has just failed so many times. Um, that's it too, because I'm definitely not saying I agree with everything she says. In terms of politicians that I agree with, everybody knows Ralph Nader is like top. 95% of what Ralph Nader says, I'm pretty much in agreement with. He's probably the highest ranked politician in terms of where my philosophy runs with. She's about at maybe 80%. Bernie's about at 80%. Nina is that high 80. Maybe she um, goes into the 90s, low 90s. But I don't agree with every single thing she says. That would be ridiculous. There's no politician I'm going to agree with 100% of everything they say. No. But if I can get to that 80, 85, 90%, it's going to be hard for me not to vote for her. Because, like I said, she's at 80 right now with the work that I know she's done. Unless she comes out and says, hey, black people are the stupidest people ever, it's going to be hard for me not to vote for her. Now, no other Democrat has gotten in, but I think she's getting flack because she's running to Biden's left. Because let's all admit, Biden is a centrist. I would say teetering on Republican, but that's just me and I'm just talking. But she's the only Democrat that has declared that she wants to be president. No other Democrat has. Um, I definitely am not saying I agree with everything she says. No. I wouldn't, there's no way I would say that because I don't. I don't agree with everything Bernie says. I don't agree with everything Nina says. Probably the um, the politician that, well, he's not really a politician. In terms of running for office, again, Ralph Nader is probably the only one that 95% of what he says I agree with. I'm like, okay, yep, I agree with that. I agree with that. Nothing makes me want to send her as my representative. I don't support Biden. You're playing the Trump game. If you oppose that, that's bad no matter what it does. Okay. Marianne also has endorsed new progressives in Congress like Summer Lee, Greg Sassar. Maxwell Frost isn't a progressive. Okay, I guess. Um, Definitely primary Biden. We need her at least one more to do it. Now that I agree. But to Biden's left or to Biden's right? Because I agree with what you're saying. The Democrats do definitely need to primary Biden. And again, the Democrats don't even want him to run, but they're getting mad when somebody runs. Like, come on, gal. She also endorsed Amani Oakley, who was running for Congress. And now this person, I've always impresses me so much. This is one I think you need to watch out for, Amani Oakley. Um, just just watch. I'm just saying that person has a lot of uh, moxie. My meter has decided to oh well, you know what? Um, but that's what I'm saying. I think I'm not the only person that has seen. So we got three people watching. Um, Whoever that third person is, come in and say hello. But I just, again, I don't like the way that the media is treating Marianne. I just think it's just ridiculous. Um, and I remember in 2000, I want to say 16, so bad. When did Bernie run against Hillary? Was that 2000? Okay, so Obama was president. His presidency ended in 2016, I think. So he was wait a minute, hold on. No, I'm going to get this one right because I want to make sure. When did Hillary Clinton run against Bernie Sanders for the Democratic presidential nomination? 2016. Thank you, Parker. Um, when she ran, everybody's like, the nomination is hers. Everybody was like, oh, the nomination is hers. Nobody knew who Bernie Sanders was. And when he started coming up, well, it's her turn. Who decides who? I want to know in the Democratic Party, who decides whose turn it is? Like, do you have to work for so long to decide it's your turn? Like, they go with that. It's her turn. And I listened to those people and voted for her. And what happened? Trump still won the presidency. So please stop telling me to vote for the Democrat because that prevents the Republican from getting it off. That don't work. I literally voted for Clinton and Trump still won the election. I'm just not, like, it's not, I get what you're saying, but it's not clicking in my head. It's just not. I'm just like, I can't, like I said, I can't see me going into 2024 and saying, yep, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. That's going to be, I can't see it. I'm not going to vote Republican. That's not going to happen under any circumstance. But I can't see voting for Biden. I just can't. I'm just like, there's nothing. Well, he could do something. Let me backtrack that. He could do something. Sounds like your issue is with the system, but you're focusing on the people. It's important to be consistent with what you actually want and act accordingly. Agreed. But I can't see if you're representing that party. I just can't. It's like, I'm going to say it this way. There is a way that I would vote for Joe Biden in 2024. And it's basically one thing. No, it's actually two or three things. But the one thing, pass Medicare for all. If he did that, absolutely no problem. I would absolutely have no issues with voting for him. That would be that's my litmus test. You have to be for me. If you're not for it and you've already said you're going to veto it, it's going to be hard. I mean, that's my number one, without a doubt, political issue. If he voted for Medicare for all, okay, assuming it would pass the Senate because it probably wouldn't. Shoot, it can't even pass the House. And the House used to be full of Democrats, but hey, they aren't for it either. But assuming that it passed the House and assuming that it passed the Senate, if he signed it, that's when I would vote for him. Outside of that, I'm like, ugh. But of course, I already know he won't because he takes money from special interests. And those special interests are against Medicare for all. But Okay, so this is a good question. Um, how can I answer this? Because that's a long answer, and I already said I was gonna be done by 9, and it's 8:55 right now. But how can I answer this? I know what I want to say, but I'm not sure if I'm saying it in the right way. I think they would be different in this way. If they got to be president, either one, because again, I think either one of them would be dynamic. I don't think they go alone. And what I mean is, if either one of them got the nomination, I think they bring with them people in Congress that would be more likely to pass their agendas. And that would be for both the House and the Senate. I don't think they just get in there like a one off and just be like, okay, it's just me being this progressive. No. Um, how would they see? This is where I want to say, like I said, I don't think they get in just by themselves alone. I think that they energize people to run as progressives, and they wouldn't necessarily be the only progressives for it. When they say, okay, oh no, I disagree. I disagree. Obama had 60 senators in the House of Representatives, and yet we got the Affordable Care Act. So, yes, what I'm talking about can work. Um, don't say anything about Congress that's a full of dodge. No, it's not. I don't. Okay, I'm just going to agree to disagree because I don't think it is. I don't think that they go in it alone. I think that they energize enough people to run with them. But let's just say that they didn't. They didn't bring anybody. They get the same opposition that Biden is allegedly getting, although I think his opposition is he really doesn't want to do anything, but that's just my opinion. Let's just say they had the opposition in both the House and the Senate. They would use the bully pulpit to get their will done. And that's what I'm missing. I want the bully pulpit used more. Yes, that's what I want to know because I was going to say Obama definitely had both the House and the Senate in his first term. Now, second term, no, the Republicans had the Senate, but they didn't have the House, and we still didn't get abortion was not codified. Um, we got the garbage Affordable Care Act, and I still think it's garbage because it's not Medicare for all. But hey, that's just my standard, not everybody's standard. Um, George W. Bush, mm, when he won the first time, it was mostly Republicans. And then when his first term ended, he got the opposite. So they, I do think that they would take a bill. Again, let's just say they did. They didn't have the support at the House. They didn't have the support at the Senate. I believe that both of those women know how to use the bully pulpit to get what they want. They could cancel student debt. They could executive power to manufacture certain generic prescription drugs. They could get back into the Parker. Just read my mind. There are things that Biden could do right now. He doesn't need anybody. He doesn't need the Senate to pass anything. He doesn't need the House to pass anything, and just won't do it. Parker just said it. The president could literally force the lowering of prescription drugs for all citizens. And that's because if the taxpayers' money goes for the development of that prescription, um, the manufacturing of that prescription, the president has the authority to say, no, you're not, it's going to be this much. Doesn't need Congress. Okay, I think I know what you're saying, is, but if you just a little bit more explanation, that's all I'm asking. Just a little bit more, and I would appreciate it. But yes, like I said, there's things that Biden could do right now. He doesn't even need Congress or the Senate to do it. Why are we in the Iran deal? That was actually working. That was a policy of Obama's. One of the few things I think he actually got right. I'm like, okay, that was a good thing. That was actually a good thing. Trump got out of it because Trump is petty and he wanted to undo everything Obama did. Well, how come we're on it back now? How come? So he could declare. This is another thing I forgot. He could declare a national emergency for abortion rights and allow fundings that the procedure would be done on federal land, even in red states. Now, Elizabeth Warren actually is the one that suggested that. He could literally do it. He could just say, there's a national emergency. Women don't have autonomy over their own body. Sure, some Republican would take him to court, but he could certainly do it. And that's the thing. They would use that bully pulpit in an effective manner. That's all I'm really asking. I get that the president, in most cases, can't just, okay, I'm going to make this law, make this law, make this law, except for an executive order. But when your agenda as a president isn't getting met, I'm expecting you to put some kind of public pressure, some kind of public pressure to say, oh, okay, you're not going to do this. I'm going to, example, voters' rights, when that wasn't passed. Instead of sending Kamala Harris to Georgia to talk to a historically black college, why don't you just go to Arizona or West Virginia instead? Or if you wanted to go to a historically black college, perfectly fine, go to all three places. You have Air Force One. Use what you have. Use the tools that you have. And the bully pulpit is a tool that Biden has but never uses. Never. I have never seen one instance of him using his bully pulpit. He has it, but when has he actually used it? So, what is an executive order? Yes. If the law gives him the feasible way to make prescription drugs affordable, yes, bypass Congress. By Congress, you don't want to act right? Oh, well, that's not a dictatorship. The law gives him the authority to bypass Congress to have an executive order. We're just giving examples. Again, he can do certain things without Congress. The Iran deal. Why aren't we back in it? You could literally say tomorrow, we're back in it. We're going to put this, back into effect. But instead, we're out here obligating war with China, even though they give no indication that they even want to start a war. And now things are worse. You can literally get back into it. What is Congress going to do? We're not saying be a dictator, but when you have the authority to do something like make prescription drug costs lower for Americans, oh yeah, call me. If I was president, I'm only going to be in for 2 weeks because I'm not going to care. It's like, you know what? I have the authority to do this. I'm going to do it. You can take me to court. I'll see you in court, and we'll just have a good old time. They did the Defense Production Act during COVID. That is an example of the president dictating that private industries do something. True. The law would give a dictator authority too. Your reasoning is the same as conservatives, just on the other side. Again, when it's talking about something about making prescription costs lower, you can call me a dictator all you want. Oh well, prescription drug costs are too high. Food costs are too high. Americans are in millions, almost trillions of dollars in debt. I work for the people of America, not for Congress. That's just me. But I am so thankful for this discussion. And again, even though I'm so low, I still went past 45 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to stop saying this is what I'm going to do. Next week, I'm not going to say how long I'm going to be. I said no longer than 45 minutes. I've been at this an hour and 6. No, an hour and 5. Um, Also, the president has the National Labor Relations Board, which can do certain things to regulate an industry like mandating various rules for elections. I could be. I'm not saying I'm not. But I'm saying prescription costs are too dang on high. America should not have to be decided, am I going to get this medication or am I going to get something to eat? I'm just saying use the authority you have. The Republicans do it all the time. That's all I'm saying. It's just use what you have. You got to use the tools that you have. Republicans did it when they passed. Oh shoot! Any of the things I'm like getting at a loss of what they've passed. Um, dang, help me. No, I'm not a tyrant. I'm just saying that prescription costs are too high. That's all I'm saying. I don't see how mandating that. And remember, taxpayer money goes for the research and development and production of these medications. This isn't just some company like Eli Lilly using their own money. If they're using their own money, they can make the prices whatever they want. But if you're using taxpayers' money to make those prescriptions and then you're turning around and charging, thousands of dollars for a prescription, I guess then I'll be a tyrant, but I just can't see not using your authority to make it easier for Americans. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I don't think I am. But I can't see it. I just can't see it. That could be a possibility. But like I said, when you're using taxpayers' money, then we the taxpayers should be saying, and Eli Lilly on their own, they did lower insulin to $35. That's great. But we need more. My issue is always with the Congress. They don't do squat. Like I said, the things that the president can executive order, I want him or her to executive order. The Republicans do it all the time. Democrats probably want to start doing it too. But yes, essentially, yes. Problems definitely with Congress. But anyway, like I said, I'm always open to having open discussions with you guys. I really enjoy it. It makes me think. So before I end this podcast and go get something to eat, more comments are coming. No, I'm going to disagree with that. No. DeSantis on family values, he doesn't have a family values. I'm using the prescriptions as an example, but the Iran deal is another example. Infrastructure in terms of the airlines is another example. I'm just using that one because I take a lot of medications and they are very expensive. But I know that when you're not using what you can and you aren't even using the bully pulpit, that's what I want to see more of. Using the bully pulpit to get what you want accomplished. And when you can executive order things, sometimes executive orders are good. Sometimes they are not. We know the Republicans have done it ad nauseum and would probably do it again once they get back into power. Because if things keep going the way they are, we're going to be looking at a President DeSantis. And that is going to be worse because you're going to get a whole bunch of things executive order, national ban on abortion, um, child labor laws being relaxed so that 13-year-old children can start working um, without parents' permission. So, not quite sure what I'm saying, but again, these thoughts were just kind of coming to my mind. But I do, again, want to thank everybody, and hopefully, this will be the last thing I say. I enjoyed this kind of teetering away from game night just to kind of talk to you all about, where my mind is heading towards, um, and how I'm looking forward to overturning the system. I think that's a thing that I still will have in my mind to do, and I'm going to do everything in my power to do it. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Um, and it may not work out, but that's not going to stop me from trying. So, um, I want to invite you all tomorrow. I will most likely do a Tracy Buys a House episode. I haven't done one of those. I still have 3 episodes to go. I'll tell you about my process or progress on that. Then I may not do a Saturday show, the Saturday show. Um, if I do, it'll be some inane topic like best cartoon or something just like very, very light. But Tuesday, I do want you to watch the Tracy show. I will be having, and I'm going to get her name right, Asaki Nichols. And she is running for president of the United States. I will be talking to her. I've been communicating with her back and forth, so I really look forward to her appearance on the show. Next week will be game night. It'll be the week before the debut of Anna and I's new show. So we'll be talking about that more next week. Remember to like this video, share this video, comment, and please subscribe. We're up to 112 subscribers. Thank you all to the 112 people that subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it, but 1,000 is the goal. 1,000 is where I want to be by the year's end. And I'm not going to subtract again because I can't subtract. So I think 1,000 minus 112 is 790, 708, something, whatever. I got to do this because it's getting on my nerves. Hold on. 1,000 minus 112. 888. I'm sorry, I had to do that. It was getting on my nerves because I was guessing every type of number. But remember to share this video. We can't get to 1,000. I only have 888 to go. So next week, just look for my face on the YouTubes. I'll see you all. Thank you, Parker. Thank you, Fizz. You guys really gave me a lot to think about, especially with the instant voter, ranked choice voting, which I may have Sarah back to do some more of it because apparently there's a lot of it that I don't understand. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great evening, everybody, and be safe, and be smart, and be kind. Thank you, and have a great evening.